Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build the model kit, and then if the time willing, build another model kit. Gonna finish up one, gonna start another. I'm also here to hang out with all of you, and I'm gonna start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, then you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk. You don't have to say anything. We might have some lurkers here on a Saturday. Sometimes Saturdays are pretty chill. Sometimes it's bumping. Who can say? We are currently at 17 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have once we hit 40. If you would like to become a subscriber, you could become one now, and that would be great. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community, be the first person this month to gift a sub. You got options. You got things you could do if you wanted to. Is there anything else I have to say here on a Saturday night? I don't know. I'm gonna click this thing here. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think this, unfortunately, is going to be kind of a low-key evening. But I didn't want to hold for too long. But it looks like, yeah, we did drop down in viewers, which is okay. It's not the end of the world, but it is great. Anyway, I'm just going to talk and hang out. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Happy to have you here. And yeah, we'll get started. We'll build the model kit. We're wrapping up the Duel Blitz Gundam high grade from, so we're going to finish that up. We got to do the shoulder mounted weaponry. And I believe that is the last thing we have to do with this kit. And there'll be some stickers to put on. Of course, there will be stickers. Oh, and the weapons. We got to build the weapons that are the Blitz weapons. And when that's done, we will then start Xavier's Gyan Hakuji-Packs. It is the Gyan from G-Quux. So we'll do the G-Quux Gyan, which is a phenomenal looking kit that I think is going to turn out great. It looks awesome. I think it'll be great. That was purchased off my Amazon wish list. Thank you to the anonymous person who bought that. I appreciate you. Let's go to the overhead camera. Boom, overhead camera. There we are. Ooh, we're in a center a little bit. Got a little off kilter there, so we'll put it there. And we'll put it like that. There we go. Looks good. So this is the Duel Gundam with its bonus armor that we got going on here. The crotch is facing the right direction. It was not previously, and I have corrected that mistake. And we're going to move on. We're going to put a gun inside of a shoulder. The shoulder backpack mount thing has a gun in it. So we'll get that started now. That's going to be F2. There will be a sticker on here because it is a gun. It does have a sticker that goes on it, which is kind of a fun look. These giant shoulder things, you look at them and you would think, oh, there must be like missiles in there. They're missile launchers. No, there's not. I hope you're doing well. I had a fun day of playing some D&D with the D&D crew. That was a good time. I was happy to spend some time with all of them. Hung out and did a little D&D-ing, which was nice. And then, I don't know, what else? Prep for some stuff. Recorded an episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club that will go live on Monday for everybody, except for my $5 and $10 patrons get to see that tomorrow. So I got that recorded and lightly edited and uploaded. Was happy to do that and get that squared away. All right, so this goes like this. Yeah. And that goes like that. And then I got to put sticker 5 right in there. So this thing just has a little rifle that hangs out there. And then, yeah, we'll just put that there. And that goes here. There it is. We'll get this sticker on there, and we will have more stickers to apply. We got these stickers that go here, and we'll get that straightened out momentarily. But yeah, I didn't really do a lot on Saturday. I was catching up on some reading, getting prepped for next week. Like I said, I recorded a video. I do have my next Kuma Baer video is already recorded because I recorded those 2 at a time, which saves me a lot of energy and effort to do 2 at a time. but then eventually I will have to do the other 2 for the remainder of the month. And honestly, actually, I'm having a little trouble. I'm not going to say what anime, but I'm having trouble finding an animated GIF of an anime that I wanted to talk about. November's theme is an E9. Okay. E9 is right there. November's theme is anime I slept on or anime I didn't think I'd like. And so there's one show I wanted to talk about there, and I just haven't been able to find a good anime GIF for it. I have the other one ready to go, but it's at the end of the month, so I'll be okay. Basically, I am currently on a system where I record one weekend. I do 2 Kuma Baer videos for the next Wednesday and the Wednesday after it. And the next weekend, I do Pat Bear's Anime Club for the Monday that, right after that. And that has served me very well so far. Now, you might say, well, Pat, sometimes there are 5 Wednesdays in a month. Yeah, and then I end up doing like the last Wednesday of the month and the first Wednesday of the next month, and then the middle 2, and then the last one and the next month, and then eventually I get back to 5 and it evens itself out. But it doesn't change that every other Monday, because every other Monday I'm not doing 2 a month or whatever. It's just that I'm doing one every other Monday. So it does eventually work out, but there are times of the year where I'm like, oh, I'm like off on a month. I'm recording one theme, the end of one theme, and the start of another theme. And that is mentally occasionally confusing, but it all works out and it's all okay. But yeah, that is a thing where sometimes the doing it weekly gets a little wonky. Whereas the other method of just twice every other Monday, like that ends up being pretty okay. All right, so this goes like this. And then this goes in here like this. And then that goes in here. Oh, there we go. And now this weapon will fit in here and then slide in there. Look at that. Nice. There you go. And then you can remove the gun, or if you want to have the gun just hang out like that, you can do that as well. You want to just do that, which I think is pretty funny. You can just do that. And then we'll just do light panel lining on here. And then we'll, because we won't really see it from the back, but, I might take a photo where you can see that I didn't panel line here. Speaking of panel lining, when I move on to the Xavier's Gyan Hakuji-Packs, I will be using black marker on the whole thing, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to look at it again, but I think I'm going to go really like a dark contrast, like a very comic book looking thing, because I think that off-white is going to really pop, and it's almost exclusively like 2 colors. So I think that having that will help a lot, because otherwise it can look a little bland. I'll show you here. I think it could look a little bland. So I'm going to use black on everything, including the white, which I rarely do. I usually use gray on white, but it is an off-white as well. All right, so we'll put this one on here. So it goes like this, like that, slides in like that. And then you can pull this piece up. Come on. There it is. And you could have the gun pointed like that, or the gun can come out and then you can hold the gun. But I like the gun popping out of the shoulder because I think that's neat. It's visually appealing. I do also obviously like a big weapon, so we'll do that. And now we'll build the other one. This one's has more going on. This is the beam saber storage. Now, without the backpack, the beam sabers, or without this bonus armor, the beam sabers live like here. But now instead, you only get one. And there's like, it's like holstered, which I think is kind of cool. I don't know. I think it's pretty neat. So I need E10. Wait, was that E10? Oh, no, E12. Okay, good. I was like, wait, did I mess that up? It's with this kit. There have been a few things that I just completely beefed it on, so it would not surprise me. Unrelated. I'm still taking psychic damage for something that happened about 25 minutes ago, so I apologize if I seem a little off. I mean, there's always going to be multiple reasons why I'm off, but in this case, I did take some psychic damage, and I'm trying my best. So I was flipping around some stuff that was recommended for me by the algorithm on YouTube, and honestly, YouTube's algorithm is pretty on point. It does seem to understand the things I want to watch, and does present things that it's not always right, but it's generally pretty accurate when it's recommending things to me. It knows me pretty well. Anyway, today, it was like, hey, here's this British lady who does camping videos, and she buys like cheap camping stuff or whatever. She bought this like sleeping bag that you can walk around in. Isn't that neat? And I'm like, yeah, I'll watch this video. Okay. And I don't know this person. She seems fine. She seems completely fine to watch. And I was like, okay. And she's going through, she's talking about some stuff, and she mentions how it feels like she's wearing a onesie. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of looking like a onesie. Yeah, that's the, yeah, all right, cool. And then she says, I used to wear a onesie when I was a kid. And I was like, oh, that's fun. That's a fun thing to mention. Yeah. So she says, growing up, I wore a Minion onesie. And I was stun locked because I was not prepared for that. Because this is an adult woman. I don't know how old she is, but she's an adult woman. And she had a onesie for Minions. And I was like, when did the Minions movie come out? The first Minions movie was not terribly long ago. At best, she got a Minions onesie when Despicable Me came out in 2010. That's at best. This full grown adult who's making YouTube content was a child with the Minions. And that makes me feel old. And I, again, was not prepared for it. Like, again, I do not know how old this woman is. She seems to be in her 20s. So it would check out that a woman in her 20s in 2025 would be a woman in her 10s or younger, a young woman in like 2012 or whatever. Like, that checks out. But I hate it. I hate knowing that. I hate thinking about that. I hate the very fucking idea that this young woman is just like, oh yeah, I love them Minions. Like, what? No, I can't. That can't be. All right, so I gotta figure out. This looks like this, and this goes up. Anyway, it's fine that it's fine that happened, but it did do psychic damage to me, and I wasn't prepared for it. Like, I watch a bunch of VTubers, some of whom are, like, I know I am much older than, I should say, not very older. I'm much older than, and that's fine. But like, when there was a group of, this is a couple years ago, there were a group of VTubers talking, and a bunch of them had no concept of Scooby-Doo. Like, just nothing. Like, I guess didn't have older siblings, but just had like, never like went down a rabbit hole of Sarah Michelle Gellar movies. Like, just have like no concept of who Scooby-Doo is. Because they were talking about cartoon dogs and mentioned Scooby-Doo, and it was just like crickets. And it's just like, oh no. That one got me. The reason that one got me is because one of the VTubers had like an existential crisis in that moment, and I know that I'm older than her. I know that I'm older than she is, and she was like, "What do you mean?" And it was like her remembering that she is older than them, like a good chunk older than them, and it's just like, "Oh, okay. What do you mean you don't know who Scooby-Doo is?" And it's just like, "Oh, they don't know. Oh God, hey, I feel old." That one did hit me because I was just like, oh God, okay. Very recently, Koseki Bijou, aka Bibu, was asked to name a wrestler, and she said Mike Tyson, and she was not doing a joke. I don't know why she didn't say John Cena, because she knows who John Cena is. But that also did some psychic damage to me, because I was just like, look, I understand that you don't know anything about wrestling, but at least say The Rock. Or maybe you know who Batista is, but I definitely know you know who John Cena is. Culturally, you know who John Cena is. I don't know why I was thinking where I'm like, I don't know why you know who Mike Tyson is. What? Like, I understand he's a cultural figure, but like, what? Why do you know that? But you don't know any other wrestler. I think a lot of that stuff has stopped phasing me, says Lashbrook. Like, I saw a bit about what year Back to the Future would go back to if it was made today and didn't even blink. Oh yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? This person is older than when this happened. This person is at the same age as this thing. Like, those things where you're like, well, Shawn Michaels is the age that when Shawn Michaels wrestled Ric Flair's last WWE match, he's now that age that he's now older than Ric Flair was in that match. I'm like, yeah, all right, time marches on. I've also looked at Shawn Michaels, and he does look that old. So like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Sure. Like, that's fine. Like, that one doesn't do anything to me. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome. All right, yeah, so our Beam Saber lives in here now. Oh, we can't see that because of the follow thing. I have that on too long. The Beam Saber lives here, so the Beam Saber can come out, and then you can like reach up and grab it. But we'll store the Beam Saber in there, and that's fine. But we're going to keep the other gun up. And then we'll do a little bit of panel lining here. Just a little bit of something. Yeah, it's going pretty good. We were talking about the passage of time and how sometimes you can get caught off guard by somebody not knowing a pop culture thing that you know. Or in this case, the thing that specifically I was talking about was somebody I was watching on YouTube that I don't know. I was just watching a video, and they mentioned when they were a child, they had a onesie of Minions, and that made me feel old. But I was caught off guard by that because it was a full-grown adult, and it's like, that's true. And if I thought about it, that's true. Like, you know. The other day I was talking about how like there are Spider-Man movies that nobody talks about, but those are somebody's like first movies that they ever like fell in love with. But there's like, because like we talk about the most recent ones, the Home series, and you talk about the first series, the Tobey Maguire ones, but you don't talk about the middle ones, like Andrew Garfield ones, like kind of don't get brought up. But I'm sure there are people that do talk about them, but I'm just talking about like larger culturally, we don't talk about those. But those like mean something to people, even if they don't get mentioned. And that's because they came out when they were young. In the same way that like people are like, well, you know, the prequels aren't that bad. And you're like, I mean, if you were a child, the pod racing scene would stick with you forever, even if all of the scenes about intergalactic commerce would have bored you to death. That pod racing scene would have kept you going for a while. I could see that like resonating with someone young and being the only thing they think about is like that. Like, I get that part, but I also don't think those movies are good. So I don't like want to hear that the cultural, like, I'm now old enough to understand that cultural reappraisals go one of two ways. Either something was ahead of its time or spoke to a small portion of an audience, and now that portion of an audience is larger, or people liked it when they were a kid. Like, hey, the Thundercats cartoon is not good, but it was pretty awesome when I was a kid. When I was a kid and I was watching the Thundercats cartoon, I thought that was the best thing that ever happened in the world. And it's not, because it's a mess. But that's okay. And it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I don't think that way now. I don't defend the Thundercats as like a holy grail, as a relic from a better time, that cartoons these days aren't good. I grew up with the classics like Thundercats. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not out here being that way. But there are some things that are good and were good at the time and continue to be good. Like the movie Army of Darkness rules. It was not appreciated in its time. That movie kicks ass. It's really funny and the action is really good, and it's not really a horror movie, but it's not trying to be a horror movie. It does have some horror elements. The acting is really fun, and it's just like a really good time. And it like worked at the time, even though some people it wasn't what they wanted. But it's just like, that movie rules. So it's like, all right, you know, sometimes people do make things that I have come to understand that sometimes I like a thing at a time when it was important for me. And then there are other times that I've liked a thing that turns out to be like, oh no, that shit just is good. Yeah, all right. I was right then, and I'm right now. I do think that it is important to watch things that meant something to you again. And if it doesn't hold up, that's okay. Like, the last time I watched The Goonies, well, not the last time I watched The Goonies, one of the first times I watched The Goonies since I was a kid was like in the late 2000s. And I had forgotten a lot of that movie and how, oh, it turns out I don't actually enjoy most of The Goonies is not a good movie. There are really great scenes in The Goonies that really stand out and are incredibly fun to watch. But there's also a lot of The Goonies that is just like not great. And I was like, oh yeah, I just forgot a bunch of this because I only remembered the parts I liked. I didn't remember the parts that I didn't like, which makes sense. At the time, it's like, oh, it makes total sense. It is what it is. I think it is important to critically reappraise things, to like look at things again. Last week, I never watched The Goonies until I was an adult, and I didn't like it at all. Definitely have to have nostalgia for it. Yeah, because like part of it is just like, look, oh, we just got raided. Welcome, Raiders. Hello. Part of it is like, obviously, watching The Goonies as a kid, I'm watching it, and I'm not thinking about how the Asian kid in there is a weird caricature of all eight. Like, this movie is written by somebody who doesn't know anyone from Asia. Like, you look at that and you go, like, what is this? Now you can look at and like, even with taking that into consideration and like understanding that part of it, it's still a thing where you're like, I understand why if you didn't watch The Goonies when it came out, you would look at The Goonies and you'd be like, this is not what the monologue is long. That down here is a long monologue that is not particularly performed that well. But like, it's also a wild adventure. And I think that like modern context of it, of like the amount of 80s movies where a bunch of kids or a small group of kids have the wildest, most dangerous adventure possible because you just got on your bike and met up with your friends, or in my case, met up with kids in the neighborhood who you would never think about. I don't remember most of their names. They were just kids. uh, that lived near me. We didn't have like that. That's it. Didn't have things in common. Eventually, I met people that I had things in common with, but certainly not when I was growing up. But so much of the 80s movie thing is just like, something happens and now these kids have to work together and they're in way over their head. Like Adventures in Babysitting and also Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead are both like, there are no adults here. We're figuring this out. I mean, Home Alone is probably the most famous example of that. But generally, those kinds of movies, like the very idea that you could just like wander off with your friends and run into criminals, like bank robbers or whatever, is just so funny. Is so of its time. But I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah, it is of its time, but I think it like, it works. But there are things that like, The Wizard is not a good movie, but is a seminal piece. Mentioned already on stream. Back to the Future, good movie. Nostalgia takes away the parts from Back to the Future 2 that I didn't remember the first time around. But yeah, Back to the Future, still good movie. Are there parts of Back to the Future where I'm like, wait a minute, I'm an adult now, and I'm thinking about this part of this movie. Yeah, sure. Beyond the, like, whole thing about, like, why people who wrote that movie thought it would be a fun idea if, like, oh, well, she's got to have the hots for him. She's got to have the hots for this, like, Calvin Klein character. And, like, but you're like, and, like, the audience will know that's his mom. Ha, ha, ha. And you're like, what? Wait, what? And she fell in love with the nerd guy that prevented her assault? What? Like, as you start to think about this. And then in the new version of that world, they keep that guy around as their manservant? What? What happened? What are we talking about here? Like, Chuck Berry's cousin, Marvin, hears a song and tells his cousin, this is the sound you're looking for. But if Marty McFly is playing a song that Chuck Berry sang and played to Chuck Berry in the past, but then Chuck, like, that's the one, because the future changes, the present changes because of the things that he does, right? He affects the future. But he plays that song so perfectly that Chuck Berry copies it after listening on a phone perfectly, so that he later learns that song perfectly and then travels back in time to perform that song perfectly, is what I'm saying. It is not a time paradox. It is somehow is not a paradox. And that doesn't make any sense to me. If I am not explaining myself properly, I apologize. But anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, critical eye. That's what we were talking about. You should have a critical eye for the things you liked. You should not, when people say something about the thing you liked in the past, you should not go, well, fuck you. I think that ruled. You should go, well, that was important to me at some time. I should think about this again. But also, if someone's talking shit about a thing that you liked in the past, you can also just stop listening to them forever, because who cares? I did that. A guy who was at the time in the games industry, but has not been in quite some time. He just kind of randomly one day decided he was just going to talk shit about a movie I liked. About like, hey, and he worded it in a way of like, hey, we can all pretend, have we all stopped pretending that we liked Scott Pilgrim versus the World? And I was like, no, blocked. And that was an easy, satisfying block. Because I was already like, I don't give a shit about this dude. I don't care about this person and their opinions. But I was like, no, the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World movie is good. Fuck off. I'm glad they changed I'm glad they didn't go with their original ending of that movie and went with a different ending. I'm glad they did that. Because they didn't know what the ending was going to be. Because Brian hadn't written the ending yet. So they didn't know what to do. And they went with one ending. And then everybody was like, no. This shouldn't be the ending of the movie. And they were like, okay, we'll do the other ending. This is a better ending to the movie. And they did that. It was good. But I think that movie is great. Am I biased because Aubrey's in it? Yes. I will almost always be biased about Aubrey Plaza being in things. Aubrey Plaza's in things that are good because she's great. Now, that does not mean that she is great in every... sorry. She is great in everything that she is in. That does not mean that everything she is in is great. And that is an important distinction to make. But you like somebody who's doing things is to be like, well, they can't all be winners, and they aren't all winners. Sometimes people who are awesome are in bad things. That is just a true thing. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes the coolest people in the world, the best actors, your absolute faves, are in things, and you're like, oof, duh. I wish you weren't in this thing, but oh well. I can't do anything about it. I hope you got paid a lot of money, and I hope people don't bring it up for the rest of your career, and it doesn't become something that you have to constantly talk about. Unless you had a good time making it, in which case, sure. But yeah. It's so freeing to be like, I don't like your opinion on this thing. I'm out of here. Or there is a guy who used to be in the games journalism industry, and now he's in the games making industry. And I mute him every weekend because he has unbelievable, complete and total meltdowns on Twitter about a soccer team or a football team. And it's at the point where there's no context. Like, I only know about it because every once in a while he'll say the name of someone, and one time I Googled that name. But he is just like stream of consciousness, like going through it. And so I mute him every Saturday and then try to remember to unmute him on a Sunday. Because I'm just like, I cannot deal with this. I do not care about this, and you are losing your mind, and I cannot anymore. Nothing wrong with that. Mute people and never unmute them. Unfollow people and never worry about it again. Block people and never feel like you have to answer to anyone if they ever ask you that. Especially like with Blue Sky and being on lists and showing up and all that. Because every once in a while I hear people be like, oh, well, why is this person blocked? Oh, do you just block all these people like this? And it's just like, who cares? Do what you want to do. Follow whoever, block whoever, who cares? It's social media. It's all garbage. It's all bad. Just do whatever at this point. All right. Some news of the world here in a gaming capacity. There is a new, speaking of nostalgia, coming at the end of this month. There is a new Lego set that is going to be $400 fucking dollars. And it is the USS Enterprise NCC D. It's the Enterprise D. And there's going to be 9 minifigs come with this thing. Jean-Luc and Worf and Data. And it's coming out November 28th in the US. It's going to be $400. It's 10 inches tall, 18 inches wide, 23 inches long. And it comes with its own stand. But you get basically you get Spot. Spot is included. Data's cat is in there. Number 1 has a trombone. Guinan is going to be a minifig. Wesley Crusher's in there. Child Wesley Crusher is in there. Jean-Luc Picard, Commander William Riker, Lieutenant Worf, Lieutenant Commander Data, Dr. Beverly Crusher, Lieutenant Commander Geordi LaForge, Counselor Deanna Troi, Guinan, and Wesley Crusher. And apparently, if you buy it between November 28th and December 1st, you also get Ro Lauren. And that minifig only exists for like 3 days. Because she is in a shuttle pod that only comes with the set for a few days. So they put a minifig just to run the shuttle, which is a gift with purchase. I am not going to be buying that. Period. I'm not going to be buying that. But it does look fucking phenomenal and cool as hell, and that's awesome. I'm happy that exists, or is going to exist. That's cool, and I like that. But I'm not gonna get one. All right, we got stickers to put on, everybody. We got to finish this kit off with some stickers here. And there's a bunch of them, and there's some 10s, and then some 11s. And so, let's see, looking at it like this, with this down on here, it'll tell us where the 10s go and where the 11s go. That one is an 11. Yeah, I don't really have much commentary to say there. That's a $400 Lego set. That sounds cool as hell, but I'm not gonna spend $400 on a Lego set. That's just not feasible or reasonable. Okay, so this is one of those things where you got to like put it dead center and then like fold it over. This. Okay. That goes like that. All right, so that goes on there. And then the bottom ones are 10s. That one is 11, goes on there. With these kind of stickers, this is generally my thought on it, is that you just kind of try to line it up centered the best you can, because this is one where it goes in the middle and folds over. You kind of line it up as best you can there. Make it as even as you can. And then you start folding them at the same time in both directions so they don't flip away. These are not going to be perfect, but I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to get some stickers on some things. All right, and then the other two are 10s. But yeah, this won't look great, but whatever. It's okay. It's all right that it won't look great. Let's see. Are there other things we could talk about tonight? Of course there are. Another state is suing Roblox. There's an update. This is now, I believe, the third state. The Texas Attorney General is suing Roblox for platforming, pedophiles. Let's put it plainly. Roblox has placed interest in profits over the safety of Texas children. And again, this is now the third state in the United States, third attorney general that has launched an investigation, along with Florida and one other state, Louisiana. And every time they're like, this is a misunderstanding. And you're like, okay, well, at some point, it kind of can't be. So yeah, there's your update. I'm sure we'll hear more about this as these states start collecting their evidence and Roblox tries to defend itself consistently over and over again. And I'm sure that more states will join in. But yeah, being on the legal counsel for Roblox is busy. You're going to be busy. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. You're just going to have pretty active schedule. All right, that's the last sticker here. Needs to go on there, and so we put this here, and then we're getting our. Whoops! Come on. Ah, it goes like that. Okay. It goes like that. And then we got to put on the 2 boosters. Uh-oh. Where's C2? Did I think that I was done with C2? There's F, E, D. Oh boy. Oh, it fell over here. Hell yeah, great. It fell on the floor, and it was easy to figure out where that went. So good. Let's see. Other news stuff we can talk about. There's more DLC coming to Elden Ring. I know that the Deep of Night thing didn't go over well. So there is going to be more DLC coming in April of next year for people that are still super into to Night Rain, Elden Ring Night Rain. There'll be more of that. By April 2026. So not saying it's definitely coming out April 2026. It's like by April 2026, there will be more for people that are looking for that. If that includes you, if you are one of the people looking for that stuff, hopefully you will get what you were looking for this by April. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. Oh, I don't need this here. So yeah. Apparently it sold way better than they were projecting, but it hasn't had as long of a tail as they were hoping. Is the Kadokawa Corporation had it in their investors meeting. They said that that it sold better than they originally were anticipating, but then it's had a kind of a quick and sudden drop off, and so they're hoping that the new DLC coming out will give it a boost. And I imagine it'll give it some kind of boost. I don't know if it'll give you the full, but some people will come back that haven't been playing it regularly. I imagine. All right, so this is gonna go in like this. Okay, that goes in there, and then this goes underneath this arm, and we're just about done here, right? Yeah. Yeah, if we wanted to, we could build a stand for this weapon. This weapon here, we'll have the claws come out because that's fun. We could get the claws to come out here, and then we could put that on a wire, included wire, and put that on a stand. I'm not going to worry about that. Here's the stand. I'm going to keep this because it's always nice to have it. I just learned that unfortunately Flare is going to be on Dynamite next week. I mean, look, Blood and Guts is basically it is just war games, and he was in a lot of important war games. So like, yeah, I don't know. That don't surprise me too much. The hope is they won't let him talk for too long, and the nice thing about war games is he can't get involved in it. I don't know. I mean, I don't love that. I wish he wasn't. But it's like, okay. Yeah, all right. Anyway, we're done with this kit. And it's going to be good. Also, I believe that Dynamite is I believe that's going to be a 2.5 hour show, so that's going to be long. But we do have, you know, 2 blood and guts matches, so that makes sense. That would give some time. Let's see. There's going to be one more Halo Infinite update on the 18th, at least 2.5 hours. Yes, because there'll also be an overrun, of course. There's always an overrun. So yeah, the November 18th update for Halo Infinite will add some cosmetic items, and it will permanently double XP progression, and that's going to be it. Operation Infinite, yeah, that's going to be it. And they've got more Halo stuff coming out. It's not shutting down, it's not ending, it's just they're not going to be making major updates to it. They'll probably only make major updates to it when there's a new Halo game coming out and they want to promote that new Halo game, you know, that kind of thing. I don't mind that. I think it's okay. As the person you know who really liked Halo Infinite and had fun playing Halo Infinite, I think I'm okay. I will probably play more Halo Infinite, but I mean, Lord Crashington is just not infinite updates. It's just, that's it. Just not infinite updates. But I will play more of it because I like it. I have not played in a while, but my crew, when the news came out, we're scheduling a time. Probably Tuesday afternoon, it looks like. We'll get some Halo in. I gotta take a photo because this kit is built. So we gotta build the next one. Well, it's cool weaponry. All right. The Duel. The Duel Blitz Gundam, which is called a Blitz because it has the Blitz weapons, which is shitty because it's mostly just the Duel. But it has some cool weapons and stuff. It's got the shoulder thing there, like there. Little shoulder appearing weapon. This is a fine mobile suit. I wish it was just the upgraded Blitz in the movie, but they didn't go that way. So what am I going to do? I can't make them change the movie. But it was a pretty fun kit. I'm glad that I built it. Glad I bought it and built it. Now we're moving on to the next one. I got to take these out here. These have to go. These can all go. And then we got a new kit to build. It's time, everybody. It's time to finally start this new kit. And by finally, I mean this kit came into my possession this week. Someone, I do not know who, bought this off my Amazon wishlist. Thank you to the person that bought this. This is a 2025 release. This is Xavier's Gyan Hakuji-Packs. It is a Gyan from the G-Quux series. It looks rad as hell, and I am excited to work on it. I wish that the good colors in this kit were not purely stickers. Almost every color in this kit is coming off these stickers, and they're going to look great, but that is a bummer. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's just a bummer. I don't love that, but it is what it is. Do F there, and then G and G. I can live there. Sorry, I gotta move some stuff. Just gonna move some stuff out of the way. We do have another, like, this kit's weapon is so big, you need a stand for it, which I like. And we've got the short beam sabers, and I don't hate the short beam sabers. Again, I am not the biggest fan of the fact that almost every bit of color in this kit comes from the stickers. But this kit doesn't have like a lot of color anyway, so I did make the decision. I talked about this on the build video for this. But yeah, I'm gonna stick to it. Whoops! Oh no, I dropped it. Hold on. Oh no. Basically, there are like very few different colors on this kit, and normally this light gray I would use a light gray marker on because it's the lightest color on the kit. But instead, I'm going to use black on everything. The only marker I'm going to use on this kit is black, so that way the only color is these stickers and the eye sticker. And that's the only color that's going to be on there, other than the black marker. And I think that contrast is really going to make this pop. I think black on everything is really going to work well for this kit. This is a new kit, came out this year, so there are no poly caps as usual. Let's see, we do head, body, arms, waist. Okay, so we do the waist after the arms. I like that. We do right leg, left leg, and then backpack, and then the weapons and shield. That's good. Yeah, the side skirt have the parts that are on the beam sabers, which are like more like, I don't know, like swords, like knight swords. This kit does like has a big lance, just a giant lance, which I love. And there is, as I said, there is a stand for the lance because that's important. Because it's just so big that it comes with a stand. And then the shield has weapons. The shield the shield can be offensive. Because it has mines in it. Which is just cool. That's just cool, dumb shit. That I like. I like that cool, dumb shit. Also, modern instructions have a lot in color pages, which I think is rad. I always thought that was great. Yeah, modern kits. Lots of instructions. They're easy to understand. We start with the head, which has our only non-golden sticker right there. We'll apply that to the head, and we'll get into it. The only other gaming news story that I wanted to pull here, that I wanted to chat with you about briefly, is that former Wizards of the Coast Vice President of Creative, Lee Hoyer, is restarting development on a canceled game at her new studio, Level-Headed Games, which was a canceled game by Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering owner, Wizards of the Coast. Level-Headed Games founder, Leah Hoyer, formerly GM and Vice President of Creative at Wizards of the Coast, announced that her studio has secured ownership of the formerly unannounced, now announced, collaborative arena party game. And apparently this was a game that she was leading development on in 2023. And they canceled a bunch of games then, and we didn't know this was one of the games that got canceled then. And apparently she's been wanting to resurrect that game since they canceled it and work had been done. So now she's doing that, and that's cool. We like that around here. We think that's pretty fucking dope. And good luck to the team. The game is not based on an existing property, so it was not, because that would have been hard to license it, you know. Yeah, it was a new IP, so which makes it easier. And yeah, they were able to get the game from them, which is pretty cool. We aren't building the game the way we originally thought we would, but change is the one constant in the industry. Yeah. There's not a lot to say about this particular story other than, oh, that's cool. Good on them. Good luck to you. I hope it works out. But yeah, that's cool. Hopefully they can actually release that game. And again, we don't know anything really about it. We didn't know anything about it then, other than it was one of the unannounced games that they canceled in 2023, and now it has a new home and might come out. And that's neat. All right, so this is going to go in here. We are dealing with some tiny-ish pieces. And then this is the sticker that goes on the eye there. And then I'm going to use my toothpick here to kind of hold it down. It doesn't run away. Oh, nope, it came up. Why aren't you sticking? Well, hopefully it will stick. Oh yeah, that sticker did not want to stick there. It still doesn't want to stick. Weird. I think some of the backing on here came up with it because the little thing flaked off and suddenly it's working now. So apparently I took the sticker off and a little bit of the paper as well, which it's been a while since I made that blunder. So, okay. But it looks all right now. Hopefully it'll all work out. F here. We will take a pause at the cause in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel and what I do here. I'll promote some of the stuff that I've got going on, and then we'll get back into model building and assembly and all that. And of course, talk about some anime. All right, so we need F4. We'll get F4 out of here. We will need F3. We'll get F3 out of here. And then F2 is the last piece of the head. And the head will be done. And then we can panel line the head. Like I said, using black for everything. Even the off-white and all the gray. And I think that will look pretty sharp doing it that way. Maybe I'll hate it, and I'll wish I hadn't done it, but I think it'll work out. All right, so then it's going to go... This needs to go... here. Where do you go? How do you attach? This is like the neck, but I'm not figuring out how this works. I want to say it goes like this. There it is. That's how it went. Okay, and then this goes that. That. And then this goes that. All right. There's the head. The head is done. Looking like a real knight with a K. The Knight. Okay. That doesn't look right. Nope, I did this. This piece is in upside down. Because if I do it the right way, then it actually looks correct. Weird how that happens. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Oh no. I was able to mute the microphone, which I'm very happy about. But yes, I got the knight. There it is. That looks right. That looks correct, I should say. All right, we'll panel line that once we come back from the pause for the cause. We talk about ways you can support the channel and do all that, and then we'll get into more building as we move on to the body. Hello, and welcome to the pause for the cause. This is my opportunity to talk to you about ways that you can support the channel and what I do here. Everything I'm about to talk to you is optional. You're under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you would like to, I would love that. It would be great. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote. I'm the only one that has that blue emote because I'm the only person in that can use a Tier 2 emote. If you want to become a subscriber, you can do that through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. You can use your Amazon Prime and link it with your Twitch Prime, get a token, use that for anybody. If you want to use it for me, that would be great. Also, a simple, easy reminder that you can gift a sub. You could be the first person this month to gift a sub to somebody in the community. You could also, if you wanted to, throw some bits and coins, cheer. That would be great too. We'd love to have you do that. But that's the easiest way to support what I do here because you're already here doing those things. So if you want to do that, you can. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There is a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier on Patreon. There are different rewards for the different tiers, so consider joining me on Patreon if you would like to. And then as a reminder, My $3, $5, and $10 patrons can vote. So if you are over there and you're not a $1 in one of the other tiers and you want to vote on what I do next Tuesday, you can. Right now, it's looking like I'm going to stream Power Wash Simulator 2 again. And we'll continue checking out Power Wash Simulator 2. So if you'd like to see me play more of that, you can go and vote if you're a patron at the $3, $5, or $10 tier. And if you're like, no, Pat, I want to see your new Hearthstone decks, you could vote for Hearthstone instead. Or if you're like, no, Pat, I want to see the third thing that I put in there, CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K25. You could vote for that too. Maybe you'll make me be forced to break a tie. I don't know. Not USA Gundam Star. Sorry. YouTube. That's the next thing I want to put in here. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe for free, and I would love it if you did. There's also a membership there, and for just $2 a month, you can become a member. And then you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you don't have to wait. So if you want to know the next show that I should have been watching from the jump, but didn't watch when it started, and I'm only getting around to it now, well, you go and find that out. You'll find it on Tuesday instead of having to wait till Wednesday. There you go. Let's see. If you want to support me, but you don't want to do it monthly, I get that. You can do a one-time donation to my Ko-Fi or my PayPal, and everything I make through one-time donations, through my Patreon, through my Twitch, also AdSense. So watching my videos helps me out on YouTube. I'm going to check that right now and see if it's updated. It should have updated by now because we are on the... they might not have updated, but we'll check AdSense to see if it updated because it takes a few days to see how I'm doing on AdSense. Has it updated? It has not updated yet. So hopefully it will soon so I can see as soon as I can how close I am to the $100 threshold. My hope is I'm getting there. I don't know yet. I'm at $94, so a couple months from now, probably. Sometime next year, I will hit that. Unless I have a really good month of shorts views, I should say. Anyway, those are all monthly ways, but everything I make goes into a fund, and I buy model kits and Lego sets and equipment with the money that comes in from those various sources. The kit I am currently working on that I just started, Xavier's Gyan Hakuji-Packs. I'm working on this kit because somebody anonymously bought it off my Amazon wishlist. And indeed, they bought it like an hour or two, I think, after I put it on the wish list. It was like right away, which is awesome. If you would like to buy something and have it skip the queue and be the next thing that I build, you can do so. You can go to my wish list and pick something up there. There's model kits and Lego sets. There's off-brand stuff. I recently just added 2 things to the wish list that are brick kits, but not Lego. One is a Mega. It's a Mega Halo. It's from Halo. It is the Renegade Banshee aircraft. That'll be probably a quick build, but it is a Mega Constructs, which I like Mega, and that's a cool looking thing. And it comes with a little figure who's piloting it. It is from the Halo TV series on Paramount Plus, which I've never seen, so I don't know who this man is. But he does have a revolver, which seems silly. He's got a golden revolver. And I guess he rides this Banshee? I don't know anything about this. I don't know this man. But I also recently added to the wish list, Mattel has gotten into the brick kits. They've only put out a few, and they're all vehicles. They're all cars. But the Mattel Cadillac Project GTP hypercar looks really nice. And I would like to try that out. I would like to find out if this is a good brick, if Mattel is like really getting into it. I think that's interesting. It's like Hot Wheels. It feels like something they should have done like 15 years ago or like 20 years ago. And it's wild that they're doing it now. So I want to check that out. So you could buy that and then I would build it if you wanted to. My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne. It is nice to have alternatives to Amazon. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is go to USA Gundam Store. And at USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can take that code, and you can send a message here, a whisper here on Twitch, or a DM on Twitter, or Blue Sky, or Mastodon with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from a USA Gundam store. That's how that works. And people have done that. Maybe you don't want to, but you could if you want to support me financially. If you want to hang out in a Discord with like-minded individuals that's chill and cool, you can hang out in my Discord. We'd love to have you over there. And then here's a couple of video links for you to check out, and then we'll get back to model kit assembly. We've got the most recent episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. As I said, I have a new episode coming out on Monday, but if you missed the other one, please check that out, because I worked hard on it and it didn't get a lot of views. But it's the most hours to video like I've had in a while, because I had to prep by watching every episode of Devilman Crybaby again. It's been the first time since it aired that I watched it again. And so I watched all 10 episodes and then made a video about my thoughts on it after so many years. And so please watch that. I did it kind of for Halloween, and kind of because I really like that show and I just didn't think I'd ever watch it again. So it was kind of neat to do that. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. We're in the anime block here. Every week I have a new video up that in under a minute I try to convince you to watch a show that I really like. All through the month of November, I am going to be talking about shows that I wish I hadn't slept on. Shows that came out and I thought were fantastic and I should have watched it. In this case, it's a show from a long time ago called Cromartie High School that is so funny and weird. There's a minor character in this who is a robot that doesn't know he's a robot. And then you meet his younger sibling, and it's just a smaller version of him. Also, there's a guy named Freddie in there that's definitely Freddie Mercury. And the whole premise is our main character ends up at a delinquent school, and he is not a delinquent, but people think he is. And he becomes king of the delinquents, and then comedy happens, and it's very funny, and you should check it out. It's in the video I talk about where you can watch it dubbed, and where you can watch it subbed, and where you can watch both if you want to see either or. But yeah, I'm really happy I was able to talk about that show. And yeah, like I said, all this month I'm going to be talking about shows that I slept on, that I should have watched and didn't. All right, I'm going to talk about 2 anime episodes that I watched here before and continue the anime block. But in order to do that, I need to drink some water because I'm parched. And I'm on this camera. I got to get back to the other camera. Actually, before I even get to that camera, I'm going to really quickly see if I feel like I am washed out in this photo or in this video here. We're going to fiddle with the exposure, and then we're going to fiddle with the white balance. All right, I don't think there was any change there. That's okay. I just think I'm very pale right now. I don't like that. Anyway, we're going to talk about some anime. I'm going to drink some water, and we're going to go back to the overhead camera, and we're going to do it with a dramatic piece of music playing. And we'll do all that right now. So, let's talk about the most recent episode of May I Ask for One Final Thing, the episode title. Every episode of this show has a title that is just a question. May I ask one final thing, and then my awkward senpai. So, where we left off, as I start to panel line this, and then we'll work on the body. The place where we left off on our previous episode, our main character has to stop an attack. Basically, they're helping out Diana, who is a saintess. She is the most recent saint. And there is a new religion that is propped up. The religion of the Palmanian religion. Around Palma, who we know is the goddess that brought a girl into this world and turned it into an isekai, who does not like our main character. So Diana is just a young lady. She's just trying her best. She really looks up to Scarlet because Scarlet is tough and she punishes evildoers, and it's rad. And she's like, nobody can stop her. And they have formed a bit of a friendship here. So Scarlet goes and beats up the people that attacked this parade. She uses a spear. She uses both the spear and the head of a statue of Palmia to beat up the Palmanians, and they are so fucking pissed that she is using, that she attacked the statue of their goddess and is using it to beat them up. Whips all their asses, including another Inquisitor. This is I believe, the second Inquisitor that she has whipped the ass of. And it's great. And everybody's like, I mean, not everybody, but like, we're all like, hell yeah. She whips ass. She rules. Just like, it's a good little scene of them fighting. I've talked about before, the animation in this show is not like top tier, but it's fine. It gets the job done. The Inquisitor did have an amulet. And so she's like, okay, this is tough. These guys have these amulets and they can't be hurt. They can heal with these amulets, but that's not enough to stop our girl. But it does make her have to use more strength than she would probably prefer. So she is like, that's not great. They are tougher with these amulets. Let's see. Because of the explosions and the bombings, the tower or the platform that Diana, this young girl who's been made a priest, a saintess, she falls. But she is saved by Leonardo, the older brother of our girl, of Scarlet. And then she instantly has a crush on the guy that saved him, or that saved her, which is like, yeah. I mean, he's like a handsome enough guy, and he's like capable, and he did save her life. And she is young and impressionable. So like, yeah, that checks out. So they figure out, like, they leave the city, and Julius the Prince is like, okay, so there's definitely a spy, right? Like, we know there's got to be a spy here among the Dianist order that is, like, letting these people know. So everybody be careful here. And then Leonardo kind of puts two to two together, and he realizes, like, hey, like, this was all a coincidence, but you always wanted to get involved with this, right? Like he knows that she was always going to get involved in this. Let's see. So yeah, because Scarlet and Leonardo are now part of the pilgrimage to protect her. And apparently, Diana's crush on Leonardo, word gets to Scarlet, and she thinks that's very cute. And there is an interpretation you could read that she is trying to set them up. And I do not believe that to be the case. I believe that in encouraging Leonardo to take Diana out when they get to another city, is more about just like having this girl be treated like a normal girl, like giving her the opportunity to just be a young person with a crush. It is a little weird when they hang out, that at a certain point, Leonardo does say that you kind of remind me of my sister. And if you believed that Leonardo was courting this girl, you would think that is weird. I do not believe that to be weird, because he is just humoring this girl and giving her a good time. But Diana's like, that's like, there's no way we're anything alike, because she's this incredible woman and I'm just like a tomboy that like commoner that got made into a saint, and I don't know what I'm even doing here. And he's just like, don't worry about it. Like, it's just gonna be fine. You're more alike than you think. And he's just being he's just really kind to her, which she definitely needs, because people aren't treating her as a normal person. And it's cool that he recognizes that she needs a little bit of that. Meanwhile, Scarlet beats up some adventurers who are being annoying. And so Scarlet beats them up, and then Julius pays for the damage, and he's just fucking psyched. He gets to see her version of justice and her beating people up. It's very good, and it's like very quick and easy, of course. You just, if you want to see, it's like this episode needs more of Scarlet beating people up, so we're going to do that. Let's see. And then, okay, so at one point, he has to leave to deal with Scarlet because she had a fight. And then Diana is sent back with one of the guards. Meanwhile, one of the members of the church, Dios, is handed a note by a stall owner. And then the leader of the church comes over, and Dios doesn't say what's going on. And then, so it's kind of supposing, is Dios like a member of, is he a spy? Is the Paragas the spy? Like, one of these people might be the spy. Maybe it's not, neither of them is the spy. Meanwhile, the prince, the dragonborn prince that we dealt with in previous episodes that like wants to marry her and is dumb, he's getting visited by another inquisitor who's asking for his help. Is he going to get involved again? And is he going to be fucking annoying again? Probably. So we're ramping up for some more fights, which I look forward to because I like this show. Again, I did see some early conjecture, or not conjecture, some people being like, oh man, this Leonardo guy's a creep. And it's like, if you read that as his intentions being, I want to date this young girl because she reminds me of my sister, then yeah, you could read that as creepy. But I'm not reading this date as like a real date. I'm reading this as like a guy being nice to a young lady and just like trying to treat her like a normal person. Like, he's not interested in dating her, and he's not dating her because he likes his sister. Like, anime is fucking weird. I know anime is very weird. I am not trying to say it's not fucking weird as hell, but like, that's not, this show is not that thing. I don't find it to be. I mean, I've read the manga so far, like so much that I'm just like, I don't even remember that scene at all. It's just like, whatever. It's fine. Anyway, that show's good. There wasn't a lot of ass kicking, but the beginning and the middle had a little bit, and I thought it was well done. So I was happy to see that. And then, meanwhile, episode 6 of My Awkward Senpai. If you've not been watching the show, a guy started a new job at a company. He has been matched with a senior employee to show him the ropes, and she is supposedly a no-nonsense hard ass, but in reality, she's just an awkward person that kind of avoids having to interact with people, and she is doing her best to try to be a good senpai. But also these two might be, keep getting thrown into very cliched rom-com stuff. Like, there was a whole episode of them being like, they had to, like, he'd been in this company for like no time at all, and they go on a business trip together. And then there was like a day where she needed an umbrella and he had one. And so it was that interaction and all that. Like, it's very cliche and by the numbers, but it's like really well done. It's a good one of these so far anyway. All right, so I need A4. And then I have to put stickers on this thing. So let's get A4 on here, and then we'll look and see how these stickers work. I don't love doing stickers on this time of the stream, but whatever. We'll do what we can. Anyway, so episode 6. As I said, hey, guess what? Anime cliches are in this one as well. We got more cliches coming, like fucking immediately into this thing. Okay, so we put that there, and now we have to apply some stickers. 15, 14, or 15, 14, and 17. We'll start with 17. We'll see if we can find the stickers we need to apply here. 17 is just a tiny little sticker. I didn't even see it at first. Whoa, where'd it go? There it is. Oops. Come on. Whoop. Well, where'd it go? There it is. All right. So let's see. This goes like on the center of this. Oh, like here. Okay, and then stickers 15 and 14. I am having trouble reading these, so I'm going to make use of the camera on my phone so that I can kind of enlarge these to see where I need stickers 15 and 14, right? 15 and 14, okay. So 12, 15 and 14. Okay, so 15 goes over there on this side, and 14 goes on the other side. And I don't know where they go. Oh, there they are. Make this image bigger. Yeah, I don't even see them on there. Just gonna look at this thing and see if I can find. Yeah, I can find the shoulder stickers. I don't even see stickers on the neck of this thing. I don't even see where these stickers go. All right, I'm going to pull 15 out first, and then we'll take a look at it and see if I can. This is so tiny. Why can't I fucking pick the sticker? Okay. So where does this even... Oh, it goes here. Yeah, I was never going to see that sticker. Okay, so now I got to get... This sticker got stuck back onto here, so I have to separate this without ripping anything. Oh, I've just broken it. All right, I was never going to see this sticker anyway, so it's kind of messed up, but it's very tiny. And I'm going to be okay with that. All right. Yeah, these stickers, some of these stickers are very small. Okay. And then I've got a couple more pieces, but also more stickers, so we'll keep this here. Well, coming up, there'll be more stickers, so. All right, let's put on A3 and A2 while I tell you about this episode. I didn't even get a chance to tell you about this episode. So A3 and A2, which are here, and then we'll panel line it after this. All right, so Azusa, who's trying to be a good senpai and hasn't realized that she's developing feelings for our guy yet, decides that she's going to be a good boss or a good senior employee and take him out for drinks. So she goes to ask him out for drinks and already finds out that he's already been invited to a fireworks festival by other new employees, including Hota, who we've met a little bit before, but we don't know too well. And they invite Azusa to go and see it. They're like, oh, you should come because that'd be nice. Everybody would appreciate it. And she goes, okay. And she decides that she is going to like really liven things up, or be traditional, I should say, and wear yukata. So she does. And then Hoda is like also wearing her own yukata. And it's just like a nice little thing. And again, like I said, we are already in this episode. We are in episode 6, and we're already at a fireworks festival. Like, we are hitting all of the goddamn cliches for Japan, like places to put people together so you can have fun and cute and maybe awkward conversations and dealings. Like, we're there. We're getting into it. We're making it happen already. All right, so I need G1, which is here, and I need B221. I'm going to panel line this before I put it in there because it's going to be annoying to panel line once it gets put in place. So I'm just going to do it ahead of time. And then I will I'll panel line the rest of it, but I want to get that done. This might be annoying to panel line after, so I'll do that. Let's see. The other trainees are nervous because everyone has, because Azusa has a reputation. So they're worried that they're going to say something and she's going to be cold and mean to them. But of course, that's not her deal. The festival is busy, and then the group splits up. And so Azusa ends up with Yu and Hota. And then Azusa is like able to observe a casual Yu, because Yu is talking to Hota like they're also a trainee, so they're at the same level, and he speaks respectfully, I should say. But then she's like, oh wait, is this like a date? Am I interrupting their like alone time? Like, am I a third wheel? And so she kind of wanders off on her own and kind of separates herself from them, feeling dejected. Like, she's not feeling jealousy in this situation, but she is feeling like she's a third wheel, and she's like she's intruding on their good time. So she does, have a little bit of self-pity there. So she wanders off. And then it's again sitcom. She breaks a strap on one of her shoes. She gets lost. The battery of her phone is dead, so she can't like figure out where to go. And then Hota appears, and she explains what's going on to you about the broken sandal. And she's just like being really supportive and cool, and they have a little bit of a heart-to-heart. And Azusa is like surprised because Hota admits that she admires her, and then Hota's like, well, I mean, there's no way I couldn't admire you. All you does is talk about how great you are. Like, he's always talking about how much he respects you and how good you are at this job. Like, I couldn't help but admire you, which is awesome. And also that she's a good mentor. Like, he's just really always talking about her. And that, and then Yua shows up and he's worried about, her and if she's okay. And has fixed her sandal, her broken sandal, because he's fucking crafty and just like a good dude. And the fireworks start and they all watch the fireworks and it's a lovely little moment. And the episode ends with Azusa wondering, like, maybe I could tell him to treat me like an equal, like outside of work. Maybe what would it be like if he talked to me the way he talked to Hota? Like, what if we were on that level and I wasn't just his mentor? Which is interesting. It'll be interesting to see if that ends up happening, if he could do that. And what does that mean? Again, this is a fucking slow burn. We are 6 episodes in. We've had a lot of cliches, but it's not like either party has acknowledging the crush they have on one another and all that. It's just adults being awkward, and it's deliciously fun to watch them slowly maybe figure it out over a long period of time. I'm really digging this show. As I've said many times, I mean, hey, I'm watching a slow burn romance set in a high school with high school characters as well, and I enjoy that show. But this one is, My Awkward Senpai, I'm really enjoying. I just think it's just really special. I also like Yano-kun's Ordinary Days, but there's just something about adult characters doing this that makes me happy to watch as an adult. I'm just intrigued by it, and I like it. It's really good. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? I always love hearing from you. We have some time left in the stream to chat about games and movies and TV and anything like that. So I want to hear from you. Did you see that new Predator? Badlands or whatever? Did you watching anything, any anime you want to chat about? Are you really loving the season 2 of Ranma 1/2, like I am, which I'm not covering here, but I am certainly enjoying. What do you got going on? I'll tell you, games wise, I've been playing more Power Wash Simulator 2. I am almost done with another job and moved on to a further one. I am stuck in that I sold a bunch of cheap equipment to get a new upgraded washer, but I don't have the money for all of the extensions. So, but I did get I have to get really close to stuff because I can't do things from far away, but it's fine because when I finish the next job, I will have the money to fully upgrade this one. And then again, then you start saving up for the next one. I have not done much of there's a carnival ride that I'm watching, and you can see carnival stuff from the first game and in the background. You can't go to it, but you can see it. And that made me feel happy. I was happy to see that stuff. So I like that. Hearthstone, been playing every day. I just basically I talked about this on Thursday a bit. I changed some of my decks around and added some new cards, but I have not found a deck to really love in either standard or wild with the new cards. And I am bummed about that. I was hoping to, by now, have a deck. I did get some legendaries, and usually what I like to do is try to build around a legendary. There is a Fabled card in Rogue where you get by playing that card, or by having that card in your deck, you get a weapon that draws legendaries out of your deck, but also draws legendaries out of your opponent's deck. And the idea is that there's a card that if you play it and your opponent has a copy of that card that didn't start in their deck, something happens to them. And I can't remember what it is because But if they play that card, it just goes back into their deck and it's fine. So it's like a momentum breaker. It either causes them to have to spend some mana they didn't want to spend, or you do something to them. But it's really about that weapon. That weapon is really cool because if you have expensive legendaries, you can then play those expensive legendaries and do a bunch of dumb stuff. So I'm like, I have that card, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's kind of interesting to play around with that card. So I'm like kind of right now trying to see about that and like see if there's something there to that deck. And try to build around that and look up some stuff because like Dane went to Legend with a deck, but it's really complicated. So I'm like, I don't know. His version seems like nonsense. I want to try to find a better version of it. But the idea of having a card in your deck that you can tutor to pull legendaries out of your deck, I'm like, what if I only put a couple legendaries in my deck, and then I just put like and I do it in the wild, and then I just put in a bunch of like death rattles, and then I play and then that way I can like tutor out the 5 cost that turns my hand into a bunch of cheap like 1 cost minion. I'm like, I might make that, and I don't think that's going to be a good deck, but I might make that because the idea of like, well, if I only have a couple legendaries in my deck, I can always guarantee I'm going to pull out like, or, you know, there's a good chance I'll be able to pull out the cards I want cheaply. And I'm like, there might be something there. There might be something there. I'm like thinking about it. Like I said, I own this legendary. I might as well play this legendary at some point and try it out. Otherwise I can just, turn into dust. But I'm like, what if I didn't? What if I like find a good reason to play it? All right, I got to put a sticker on F23. So we're going to get F23 out here. Then we're going to figure out which sticker it is. And then we're going to put that sticker on F23. F23 is this piece here. Lashbrick says, I caught up on Cat's Eye today. I'm not too familiar with the older versions, but it's fine so far. Yes, I found that to be a totally fine adaptation of Cat's Eye, which I think it didn't need to get made, but is fine. Like, yeah, and I think that is that's my thoughts on it. Mainly here for both themes done by Ado. I've been thinking about selling some Steam items to try and get Q up. Yeah, I've heard some good things about Q up. I don't know if I'm gonna check it out, but I've heard some good stuff about that. All right, so I need number 9. Again, we're gonna use the camera because my eyes just aren't good right now. I gotta get new glasses. I'm getting an appointment scheduled for an eye exam, so that's 9. So let's find 9 on here. I am gonna get that eye exam hopefully very soon. Okay, so it's this sticker here. It's this one here. Okay. But I'm really, really hoping I can get that in soon. There's just been a lot going on. Like, I went away for a while in October, and that threw off my entire month. As I've said, I'm not going to get into super details about this, but I do have that my mom is currently recovering from a surgery, and so I have been doing a lot more around the house than I normally would, which is fine. I got no complaints about helping out and doing all that, but it is taking time out of doing other stuff, and so I'm just behind on a lot of things. It's fine, and like I said, I'm happy to help her out. I'm just doing a lot more cooking around the house, which I'm fine with. All right, so here is where this goes. It just goes around this piece here. These stickers are so small and thin. Just so thin. I'm constantly afraid to put this sticker on anywhere Then I'm like, if I'm not doing it right, I'm going to rip this sticker like completely apart, which I obviously don't want to do. Oh, one thing I did today that I didn't talk about is I mentioned it on socials. So when I was cleaning out the storage locker, or storage unit, I should say, for my great uncle, he had some Disney VHS tapes. I don't know why he had them. He had an extensive VHS collection, but he didn't really watch a lot of Disney movies, but he had them. But unfortunately they were near the front of the storage unit. So they had gotten kind of attacked by the weather, like it was an out, unit that was outside, or a building, the door was out on the outside. So unfortunately it did get hit by the elements. So I'm cleaning them up. I did look through. None of them are the ones that, like, even though I have, the 101 Dalmatians, it's the re-release. It's not the original. None of the ones I have, and Anastasia, because Anastasia is not a Disney movie, but it's similar in vintage. None of them are worth any large amount of money. I thought one of them was, but it's a reissue, so it's not, which is okay. It's all right. I don't need them to be worth money. But I had to clean them up, and I think I'm just going to put them out for like, there's twice a year our neighborhood does a yard sale thing where everyone does a yard sale. I think I'm just going to like put them out. My dad sells stuff that he's been, old stuff from when he owned his own painting company and various other things. And I think sometimes we just go to our neighbors who are on like the main strip and get a lot of traffic. And we just set up a table there. And I think I'm going to run a table. I've got like board games I've got as gifts from my cousin, which are lovely that he's thought of me. But like, I don't have any opportunity to play physical board games anymore. I play tabletop stuff online mostly. So like, I'll try to sell those. And I think I'm just going to put a bunch of those up and be like, I'll set like a small price, like $1, or like, I don't know, I'll do something like $3 a VHS tape, and then I'll do like bundles or whatever, like, whatever. And then if somebody offers me a reasonable price, I'll just say sure. They're not worth selling online and paying for shipping and all that, but somebody who is, so it might just hit somebody in nostalgia, right? They might see 101 Dalmatians, or they might see, there was one that was a limited reissue that I thought was worth money, and it turns out that was the second reissue. So it's the first reissue was the one that was worth money, and it's like, okay, that's fine. I don't need them to be worth money, but I will like, okay, I'll do my best. All right, we got another sticker to put on here. There are 2 stickers. Lord Crash says I've been playing some. Let me just see. Okay, so I gotta change my passcode. Hold on, I did it on camera. I have done this before. This is not the first time. All right. So I gotta go. Settings. Okay. All right. I gotta go to on. This is now the second time I believe I have done this on the overhead camera. We're gonna go to this one here, and we're gonna go here. Just the way I can look at it better. This is not the first time I've done this. All right. So I gotta go to settings. And then I gotta go, let's see, go to settings, to view option, creating passcode, no, set a passcode, let's see, no, I wanna, okay, tap ID and tap Face ID and passcode, okay, so I gotta go Face ID and passcode, and I gotta change it. There we go. Okay. And now I can put the VOD up. Now I can put the VOD up because my passcode is now different. So there you go. Oops. And now I have to remember that I've changed my passcode. Yeah. And now I have to expire the previous passcode. That's it. Hey, I've just given you an important thing that you might not have known about. They do a thing in an iOS where for like 7-something hours, your previous passcode can work in case you mess it up or you forget what your new one is, but you can change that so that it doesn't require that. Or so that it deletes the old one, which you should do. All right, so I need stickers 12 and 11. So let's find 12 and 11. Okay. So that's 12 is the... Okay, both of these are 12 and both of those are 11 because they're the same for either one. Okay. Got it. Lord Crash says, I've been playing some of the Halloween event for American Truck Sim that takes to a new spooky area that's a bit too tight to navigate with my truck, but has some cool areas to it. Nice. That sounds fun. But yeah, now I can put this VOD up because otherwise I wasn't going to put it up. But like I said, I've only done... Hey, for like 8+ years of streaming, I've only screwed that up 2 times. That's pretty good. Now, would it be better if I've never, ever in my life fucking screwed that up? Yeah, of course that would be better, but that's not realistic. Mm-hmm. Did I put that on? No, this is right. Okay. All right. I got the other one. Anyway, on Monday, we will continue working on this kit. We're going to wrap things up here with this sticker. Whoops. The sticker doesn't want to come out. Let's see if I can get it out this way. Again, I'm trying to be very careful with these stickers because they are thin. So I'm trying to be very, very particular with them. Laura crashed and watched the new Frankenstein movie on Netflix. That was very good. Yes, I did watch that. That's some good shit. Hey, weird fact. Guillermo del Toro can make a cool fucking monster movie. He's good at it. He's just fucking really good at those at movies like that. Yeah, it was awesome. All right, those stickers are done. We'll have more to do with this kit soon, I am sure. Panel line it and all that. We did get some good progress done though. We're making good progress on this kit, and we'll continue to work on it on Monday. So I hope you come back for that. Oops. Come on. All right, I don't know. Oh. I don't know why this piece isn't connecting, but there it is. It's not connecting. I don't know why it isn't. I'll figure it out. That's future Pat's problem, is to figure that out. What's going to happen is we are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go hang out with them. I have to see... we are going to go raid somebody who is doing extra life for Giant Bomb. So I'm going to do giantbomb.com/extra life, and I'm going to see who is streaming there. And we can go and raid them. We're going to go raid Rio Starwind. Rio Starwind is doing Extra Life 2025. So we're going to go hang out in their chat. Feel free to come along on this raid. And we'll go see what they're up to. And then a reminder that my next stream, let me just get this loaded up. My next stream will be, wait, why didn't that work? Twitch.tv/EO Starwind. There it is. My next stream will be Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I hope you will come and hang out for that. Let's see, we got the raid started here. Wait, why didn't that work? There we go. Now we got the raid working. That was all weird. Anyway, I'll come back 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday as I continue to work on this kit. I'm going to turn this overhead camera off. We'll get that ready. I'm going to go watch some wrestling, a replay of Collision, and then I'll see you on Monday for Anime Talk. Manga Monday continues. We got Manga Monday all this season long. Thanks so much for being here. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.